Welcome to our podcast episode on Chapter 2 of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. In this episode, we are going to discuss the concept of never enough and how it impacts our financial decision. But don't worry, we are not going to lecture you on the importance of budgeting. Instead, we keep it fun and interesting with relatable examples and stories. First, let's talk about why we always seem to want more. Housel argues that our desire for more is hardwired into our brain. We evolved in constantly seek out more resources in order to survive. However, in today's world, this drive for more can lead us down a path of financial ruin. To illustrate this point, let's take a look at the classic tale, The Emperor's New Clothes. The emperor is so obsessed with his appearance and what others think of him that he falls for a scam and ends up walking around naked. In the same way, we can become so obsessed with the material possession and what others think of us that we make poor financial decisions. So, what can we do about it? Housel argues that key is to be content with what we have. This doesn't mean that we should not strive to improve our financial situation, but it does mean that we should be grateful for what we have and not constantly seek out more. Chapter 3: Adaptations. First, let's talk about why adaptation is important. Housel argues that our expectation can change over time, and if we are not able to adapt these changes, we can make poor financial decisions. For example, let's say that you get a raise at work. At first, you are thrilled with extra income and you are able to save more money. However, over time, your expectations change and you start spending more money on luxuries. If you are not able to adapt to these changes in expectation, you may find yourself in debt. To further illustrate this point, let's take a look at the world of technology. Companies that are able to adapt to changes in technology are more likely to be successful than those that don't. For example, Kodak was once a giant in the photography industry, but they failed to adapt to the rise of digital photography and ultimately went bankrupt. So, what can we learn from all of this? Well, the first thing is that our expectation can change over time and it's important to be aware of this. Secondly, being able to adapt to these changes is key to be achieving financial success. And finally, companies that are able to adapt to the change in technology are more likely to be successful than those that don't. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that it gave you some insight into the world of financial adaptation. Join us next time as we dive deep into the chapter 4 of the psychology of money. Thanks for listening.